Today's going to be a little bit of a rant on my part, and I want to talk about all of this noise about how bad RV quality is. Hi, I'm Felix.
And I'm Cindy.
In 2019, we sold everything and moved into our RV full-time.
Since then, we've traveled the country following my nursing contracts.
We are the Roaming Gomes. Hey roamers, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Felix. Cindy is absent this week because she is in the midst of onboarding at her latest contract. She will be back next week, and I just want to say that the week that we had after our previous video,
disaster,
was worlds apart from what we had gone through previously.
Hallelujah!
We have recovered quite nicely, and everything is back to normal. Including, we got a new truck, and that's going to be next week's video. But this week, what I want to talk about is this seeming barrage of, my RV broke down, this broke, that broke, we had this catastrophe, that catastrophe. And I get it. We just did a video last week that talked about a catastrophe, but that's not our life. And it seems as though a lot of these RV channels, that is their life. It's their entire life is just covered in disaster.
But it's not all doom and gloom.
Many moons ago, we had a different titled RV channel called We Found Our Way. And I was doing weekly videos. It was just me at the time. Cindy was not interested in being a media star. But the channel had kind of mediocre attention, and it really didn't do much. But I actually walked away from that channel because I didn't feel like I could put out any content. Everybody out there was talking about how this broke and that broke and this broke down, and they were stuck on the side of the road, and they were this and they were that, and everything was bad, and how they got out of it. Well, I came to find out that that was not true. I am not going to say that RV quality is the best in the world, but they're not as bad as they're being portrayed. I cannot bring myself to believe that in the two RVs that we've had, both of them Keystones, first one a Bullet, this one a Cougar, none of those issues that they talk about have occurred. We've had our repairs that we needed to do. I had to replace the toilet in the previous one, water pump in this one, a few things here and there, but these major disasters that everybody talks about, they didn't happen to us. And I can't bring myself to believe that we got the only two decent RVs in the world, especially considering that this one is a COVID unit built during COVID. I've got no problems with it. Is it the highest quality anything? No, it's not. Some of the trim is coming off the wall. Some of the, you know, these little tiny things. But other than that, it served us well twice across the country. We've been living in this RV for 2.5 years now, and have had no major problems. Something I want to focus on in this video is the big hot button topic of frame flex. If there were ever a thing that demonstrated how the squeaky wheel gets the grease, it's frame flex. And try saying that 10 times fast. You couldn't. But frame flex, there have not been that many occurrences of it in reality, And I get it. Anybody who has had it happen to them is not going to be comforted by the fact that it hasn't happened that much. But everybody is looking at Lippert and going, "You're the villains. You did this to us." Da, 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 da. Look, frame flex is a major problem. No doubt about it. But it's not a problem that has occurred a whole lot of times. The last fairly accurate count that I was able to see is there were 8 incidents of it. However, and I have no idea how many there have been now. However, having been in manufacturing quality for 41 years, that was my entire career, I can honestly say that I have personally seen a situation much like what's going on here. Let's kind of break down how this whole thing works. Keystone or Grand Design, or pretty much everybody uses Lippert frames, contacts Lippert, sends them a design for an RV that they're about to manufacture. They give them the weights, they give them all of the specifications, and they tell them, "We want you to build a frame for it." Lippert takes the specifications from the company and makes a frame to those specifications. Simple. Lippert does not have any idea how this company is going to actually use their frames. So if this company is going to take a overweight RV and mount it onto a frame that was built for a lower weight, they've got no dog in that fight. That is not their problem. That is the manufacturer's problem. And as I said, I have seen in a company that I worked for this very thing happen. That we were sending a subcontractor specifications on a part that we needed to be made. They made it to our specifications. We did not apply it properly. And the part failed. And the company that I worked for did their best to try and blame the subcontractor for all of their issues. That subcontractor fought back, and it turned out that they were found not guilty. The bottom line here is, as I said in a previous video, the biggest problem with RV quality is not that the manufacturers don't give a damn, it's that they're not regulated. They are not overseen by any authority that has any sway over them. They basically can use any materials they like, and like with any other manufacturing company, they're looking to maximize profit. So they're using the cheapest materials they can get. Now there is another facet of all of this. I don't think, maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't think that these large RV channels, these people with the 100,000 plus subscribers, understand that they really are what they're being called, influencers. They have influence. There is one specifically that seems to have found her niche in doing nothing but bashing RV manufacturers and dealers. And recently she went after Lippert, which resulted in her potentially, and I don't believe she has yet, but potentially being sued by Lippert. She has received a cease and desist order, and I don't think she understood that with the amount of subscribers they have, it's not just talking. It's talking to a very large audience that can influence this company's sales. And the same goes for any of the other large YouTube channels in general, not just RVers. You got to be aware 100% and sure 100% of what you're saying. And I don't think a lot of them are. I am not in any way, shape, or form affiliated with Lippert. I don't know anything about them outside of that they manufacture a large part of the parts that are used in RVs. And I don't believe that they're guilty of this frame flex problem. That's coming from a viewpoint of having been in manufacturing for so long and knowing the mindset of these companies. Another thing that I want to point out to everybody out there, and you really need to be aware of this, when these larger RV channels are posting about how this failed and that failed, look out for something in their videos. If something, I'm not even going to get into individual specifics, but if something failed on their RV and all of a sudden they've got this other solution for that, that is the be-all and end-all of problem solvers for this specific problem, I can almost guarantee you that they are simply dealing in sponsorship. Somebody out there approached them and said, would you like to be sponsored by us, or would you like to have a free product for a review? And the easiest way to do that and accept that is for you to turn around and say that this thing, or whatever it is really no good because it failed. But this new thing is perfect, and they came to our rescue, and it is the one that you should buy. And if you're interested in seeing what my opinion is on why the RV industry is so low quality, take a look at this video.